Stop.
All right, everybody, we are live. We're having some mic issues, so I don't know why you might hear a little bit of feedback, but we're just trying to get some information out to everybody about real estate and title insurance today. So with me today, we have City Abstract, we have owners, Greg and Christian, and one of their sales reps, Rachel. So Greg, why don't you introduce the company? And before we say that, I should say happy birthday, Greg.
Thanks, Matt.
Happy birthday, buddy.
So tell us a little bit about the company and what you guys do.
We are a full-service title insurance agency in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York. And we are navigating through these unprecedented times, as all of us are. Thank you for the opportunity, Matt. We have several offices spread out through those states, and we're happy to be here with you. Thanks for the birthday wish.
Yeah. So I guess as a realtor, I'm seeing things change constantly right now. You guys, we actually are setting up right now. I just connected with Michelle. We have 2 sellers going to sign in advance. So I guess Rachel, being someone that has to help us agents, share what you guys are doing, how you're helping your agents navigate through this.
So this is definitely at first a day-by-day change. Now I feel more comfortable saying hour by hour. So really just as a sales rep, my goal is to keep my clients as informed with the changes as possible. And also give them a comfort level because they are the direct contact to the buyer and seller. So our goal is to keep them as informed, as equipped as possible, and to give them a comfort level, which will then be projected to their buyer and sellers. Our main goal is just to really get to the closing table with as few people as possible and as safe as possible. So any directions that we are getting from the underwriters, Greg's, been really great with informing us to be aware of what's going on, and then we're able to relay that information to our clients.
Good stuff. So, Christian, I guess if you could share with everybody, what you've been up to on the owner's side, I guess, like what exactly is changing in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, in the last couple of weeks, because I had you guys on, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago, and that was the initial changes. But how's everything going? Courthouses open, searches being delayed. What are you seeing?
Yeah, so I think first of all, we should timestamp this because, like Rachel said, things are changing daily by the hour. So today is Monday, April 13th at 1 o'clock. So things could change at a moment's notice. But yeah, a couple of weeks ago, things were crazy, man. We spent most of our days answering people's questions. People were scared. People didn't know if we were going to be able to continue doing business. But for the most part, especially in New Jersey, it's pretty much business as usual. There's obviously tons of challenges. For example, we just had a closing the other day. The husband and wife were married. The wife was pregnant and they were scared to death to leave their house. So we went to their house, did the closing, and it was a rainy day. They didn't want the settlement agent in their house. So we're basically passing documents through a screen door and notarizing things in that way. So there's just obstacles like that overcoming and just trying to be as accommodative as possible. And it's definitely challenging. We've done more settlements in parking lots and in open spaces than ever before. So, but for the most part in New Jersey, the courthouses are open. I shouldn't say they're open. We're allowed to record or e-record. And if we can't e-record, they go in a queue. And once the courthouse is open, they will be able to record them. And in that situation where the courthouse doesn't take e-recordings, we are able to do what the heck's the name of that thing called? The gap insurance. I'm sorry. So we're able to do the gap insurance thing. So it allows to ensure from the time the deed signed that settlement to when it's actually recorded. So they're protected through the gap insurance. So
Good stuff.
We're getting there, man, slowly but surely. But now business is going.
Good. So Greg, from the underwriters' perspective, I guess share what you're hearing from your underwriters.
Can you hear me, Matt?
Yeah.
I couldn't hear Christian. I don't know why. So I didn't hear one thing that he said. But from an underwriting perspective, as far as New Jersey's concerned, we're insuring everything. The only potential obstacle is if there's an owner who owns a property prior to when the electronic records go back. So, for instance, Camden County they go back to 1978 electronically. If someone owns a home and you have a seller that took title prior to, or the last insured deed was prior to 1978, in order for us to put a commitment together and put it out to everyone, we're going to need to see that deed. If the seller can get a hold of that deed, whether it's in their safety deposit box, in some envelope, somewhere, because we're unable to pull it because it was obtained prior to the electronic records being in place, we can put that commitment together. And the underwriters, knock on wood, we have yet to have them deny coverage. We've had a couple that have been 13 to 15, even 20-year gaps, but we do need that deed. So we'll come back to you guys and ask you to get the seller to get us that deed in order to put a commitment together. Other than that, everything's been pretty smooth. There was something that was just passed by New Jersey Superior Court on Friday, where if you guys are familiar with judgments that expire over 20 years, they have extended that expiration date for the foreseeable future, until further notice for obvious reasons, for a judgment holder or a creditor to fall victim of an expiring judgment during these times is kind of not fair to the creditor either. So that stuff is that'll, if there are judgments that are that old, they'll continue to attach through the expiration period for the time being. Other than that, it's business as usual. Honestly, it's been pretty smooth in New Jersey. Pennsylvania is a little bit of a different story. If you want me to get into that, not so much from an insurability standpoint, but the governor's office has placed some pretty severe restrictions on just doing business, what they're calling in-person business in Pennsylvania. So that's created some obstacles for inspectors to go into houses. Appraisers that need to be on site, it's created an obstacle in holding the settlements themselves. So we're working through some of that, and we're all in direct contact with the governor's office along with our underwriters. So it's more of a logistical issue over in Pennsylvania, but from an insurability aspect, it's all pretty much the same.
Yeah, and that's all of Pennsylvania, right? I know, we think PA, we think Philadelphia real estate. We don't really think about the whole state, but in general, Rachel, I know you do a lot in Philly. What are you seeing from realtors and other professional services that we need? Like, how are things changing?
So I'll definitely say that my Philly agents are very jealous of you guys right now in Jersey. You have them a lot more freedom, a lot more flexibility, but they're definitely bobbing and weaving. Virtual tours are really big right now. So to my knowledge, it's legal for an agent to go into a vacant home, take some videos for a client, walk around, and then deliver that to a client. And on their comfort level, they're able to go into the home without the agent. So the agent can unlock the door, go in, show them around. But each day it's getting tougher and tougher for them to get out. So they're definitely jealous. You guys have a lot more leeway right now, but with that being said, I'm still getting deals done. Investors are still buying. Philly's known to kind of be a little heavier on the investor side, and there's definitely still opportunities for the city to grow, and I still see people taking advantage of that.
And are builders still building like usual, or are they not getting permits? Like, are cities closed for permits and all that stuff?
So driving around the city right now, it looks pretty crazy because builders were giving a deadline of when they can no longer move forward, and they needed to secure their sites. So I've even personally just walking around seeing some sites that make me a little nervous, especially with how high the winds are and a lot of rain lately, but everything's kind of on hold. So they secured it to the best they could, and they got to kind of put things on pause until they're given the go-ahead.
Wow, that's
yeah,
crazy.
that's just to piggyback off of what Rachel said. Yeah, they were given a timeline. I guess it was 2 Fridays ago, Rachel, or something like that.
Yeah,
it was like the first
about
week.
right.
when they came out with the essential and non-essential list, they were given till that Friday to secure any sites that they had. If they didn't have roofs, if the windows needed to be boarded up, just make them safe and secure. And they can't get permits, man. I mean, they're unable to get permits. So, they can't close out permits. There's no inspectors going on site, to close them out. And I know Rachel's got some pretty significant clients that do construction lending. I know they've halted some of their lending for the time being too. So that makes it difficult as well. One more thing, I'd just like to touch on Pennsylvania. Those restrictions that were put in place as far as that in-person business conducting, there was a March 18th date that was issued as a revised date on Friday from the governor's office. It was originally March 6th. So any agreement of sale that was signed or executed on March 18th or after has to adhere to these new restrictions. Anything that was executed prior to that date, you can still carry out, just to be clear.
Gotcha. Unfortunately, it's a shame, right? They're protecting everybody. And New Jersey, this is where realtors don't understand what we pay for when we have a political action committee, but this is what they do, right? People don't understand our annual dues and they complain about them as realtors. And today they're all saying, well, why? Who's going to go to the governor and tell him what we need? A New Jersey group that went to the governor and explained everything really did a good job, right? And Philadelphia is seeing it as bad as the areas near Hilton and all that up in the year. So, right now,
there was sorry to cut you off, Matt, but on that note, there was a GPAR, I guess it was a conference call or a Zoom meeting this morning. I know you've been involved with GPAR for a while. And they're concerned that if inspectors are going to continue to do business and kind of ignore the restrictions, that it's only a matter of time before the governor's office starts making examples out of people. So it's something to keep an eye on. I know you're involved with GPAR, Chris. You may want, if you haven't already, may touch base with some of those folks over there to get a better idea of what's going on too. It's probably helpful. Definitely political contacts right now, Matt, are very important. Just to clarify what's going on.
Yeah. It's a big issue that we have right now, that just showing houses and there's people breaking the rules like knuckleheads, and those are the people that's why we have rules, right? Because people will just do whatever they want. There's people who think that this is nothing to be worried about and just acting as business as usual in homes, but I think it's helping us as a community, as realtors, because I feel like showings are a lot more qualified right now. If somebody's house is on the market, we don't have to worry about, oh, wait, did you talk to a lender? Not every agent, buyer isn't just going to call 3 agents and somebody will take them in a home, right? So I think that's helping us. I guess, Christian, why don't you tell us a little bit about, what you're seeing? You're more on the Jersey side. In your closings, are you having, nobody's in the same room, right?
Oh, it's interesting. We are trying to, so for sellers, for example, we're sending out seller side deed packets where the sellers are getting the seller side notarized so they don't have to come to closing. We're telling the agents, the attorneys, the loan officers that they don't have to be at settlement. Don't come to settlement. Less is more. So I know it's really weird for a lot of agents to hear at this point. And so we're not having, only non-essential people we're having come. And if we have to close, we're trying to do all the settlements in our office. So it's more of a controlled environment. And we're wiping down the tables and everything with Clorox and Clorox wipes and just doing our best to control the environment when we do have the settlements in our office. And the settlement table chairs are all spread throughout the room. So we're doing our best to do social distancing. Our settlement agents are doing their best to take safety seriously. So they have the masks on. We're handing out gloves at settlement. And when we even pass documents, our settlement agents have pointers and they're sliding the mortgage docs across the table, with a pointer. So closings are definitely interesting, to say the least. But we're getting them done, and we're just trying to be as smart as possible. And I said this recently. I just wanted to, again, thank our settlement agents. They're kind of on the front lines of this thing. They're going above and beyond. getting these closings done, and they're taking, safety seriously. And I just want to again thank the settlement agents for all that they're doing for City Abstract.
Awesome. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to let you each, make a last comment or two. Go ahead, Christian. You're up.
Actually, I had a question for you, man. Like I know you said you're qualifying people before you take in them out and stuff. So, like, what are some of the challenges you're seeing out there while you're showing houses? Are you actually taking people out? Or are you just doing everything virtually?
So I haven't shown that often. I do have a couple clients that are obviously qualified and needed to, need a house. So number one, we're overqualifying, right? So if somebody calls me, I had a few emails, can I see a house? Can I see a house? I will not get in a car and go meet somebody without, when do you have to move by? If there's some sense of urgency, then yes. If it's somebody who's bored at home, just wants to go out and look at homes, that's not somebody I'm going to take out, right? So when it comes to showing, I've shown mainly vacant homes. This weekend, I did have one house that was an older woman's home, like a farmhouse, but I have hand sanitizer in my pocket. I tell the buyer, don't touch anything at all. If I got to open a doorknob, I'll do it. And then I go, sanitize and everything. I had showing, I guess about a week ago. So I showed 3 houses with occupants. The other one had booties at the door with sanitizer and what's it called? Everything was open. Kitchen cabinets were open and pulled out. Everything was open. So you just walked through and walked right out the door. So that's what's kind of crazy to me. Obviously it's better doing it that way, right? Hey, just walk in and walk out. And, I told people, some buyers want to bring friends, right? So both my recent buyers wanted to bring just construction friend, right? Because that's their eyes.
Sure.
They're not candy. And, I said, look, unfortunately, you're going to hire an inspector to do that after this. So we're only letting the buyer in the home. And, I'm trying to figure out for when I start listing homes again, where I can even get supplies like booties and, hand sanitizer to give to my clients. And I don't believe the glove thing, but gloves if necessary, just because people contaminate everything with their bare hands or gloves, and then it's pointless anyway.
It's true. It's true.
But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And a lot of realtors, I do have some listings that are showing. So they have to send me the buyer's pre-qualification before they can get confirmed. This weekend showing, I had to send, the buyer actually had to sign off on an addendum that said, they weren't required to be quarantined. They didn't catch the coronavirus and a list of questions before they were allowed access. So, things are changing, and that house this weekend, they structured it to be a bidding war, and they let everybody in on Saturday and Sunday, and that's it. They're done showing the house. They showed it, 2 days in a row, and it's going to be best offer one time. That's it and done, So that's what I'm seeing on my side. I hope that helps. And any last words, Christian?
Yeah, if anyone has any questions about Ron remote online notarizations, please feel free to get in touch with Greg, Rachel, or myself, and we can explain to you what's going on with the remote online notarizations. That's one of the biggest questions that we've been getting over the past several weeks. And we've done some remote online notarization settlements, and I feel we're as prepared as any title company out there right now to do them. But there's definitely a lot of moving parts to have a successful remote online notarization. So,
how about you, Rachel? What do you got for us?
Just something that Greg noted earlier about having your political contacts right now are really important. I just wanted to bring up a good friend and referral source of mine, Rachel Prixler. She's a zoning attorney, very involved in the BIA. She's been doing a fantastic job keeping update with, the hourly changes we're having. She's kept me in the loop. I'll drop her information on this stream just in case anybody needs to get in touch with her, pick her brain. She's really great. Utilize your contacts during this time, guys. I think that's really important. Call your title agent, call your loan officer, call your attorneys. The more knowledge you have during this, the more equipped you are, the better things are going to be.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. How about you, Greg?
Yeah, for some reason I can't hear Christian, Matt, so I hope I don't repeat myself. But I just think it's look, I think it's really important for all of us to appreciate everybody that's out there on the front lines. I know Christian says that often. We can't say it enough. From our settlement agents to the people that are going into work, to you guys, the real estate agents that are out there. I mean, it should be recognized. It shouldn't be taken for granted. Grocery store workers, healthcare workers. You know, and I don't think it's a time that we should all rest on our laurels right now. I know there's a lot of talk out there about the curve being flattened, but I think it's more of a time that we need to bear down and stay conscious of what the hazards are out there, so we can really knock this thing out. You know, we will come out of it. You know, but let's stay the course. You know, let's say thank you and appreciate everybody that's out there. So stay safe, everybody. Until next time.
Yeah, man. Well, again, Greg, happy birthday, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. And we're going to drop contact information for everybody here. If you guys want to make a comment, put your emails in it. That'd be awesome. And I appreciate your time. Thanks for helping.
Thank you very much for having us, man. Greatly appreciate it.
All right, guys. Take care.
Enjoy your week, guys.
See you.